Now I will show you how you can configure signals in the RTU to be stored in the local event list or alarm list of the RTU. Basically, all of our SICAM A8000 RTUs have embedded a ring buffer in a non-volatile memory where the last 4096 events are stored. There is also a process archive on the RTU where up to 5 million entries can be stored. There you can store both events or also cyclical measurements. You can define which signals will be stored with the device manager. Basically, how to do that? You need to map exactly the signals similar to how we have done with while creating signals for the different protocols. But in this case, you will map them to the central processing. So you select here central processing and the signals that you want to store, and then you assign them. Once they are assigned, then you need to select for these signals if they are going to be processed as process data message. You assign this processing type to all of them. For commands, you select processing data command. And if you had measurements, then you select process data measurement. Later you go to the parameter tab. And in the parameter tab, you need to define here, basically let's make this wider. You have a lot of columns. So let's explain what do you have on each one. In the column event, you define if this signal is going to be stored in the event list, yes or no. In the text column, you define if this command is going to be, or the text, this is an additional text that will be included in the exporting of the signal, of the command. This is up to 13 characters long. You can define when the command was sent in on or close direction, which text should be included in the event stored. If the command was sent with open or off direction, which text would be shown there. This is for commands. If we look for messages, like single point, double point, you have the same. Event, which will the signal be stored in the event list, yes or no? Will the signal be shown in the alarm list? The alarm list basically shows only signals that are active, and it's not a log, it shows the current status only. You can define if the signal is going to be stored in the process archive. You can also define an additional 13 character long text up to show additional information, and you can define an individual text for the status on, off, or faulty. This is only valid for double point signals where both bits are active, or intermediate, which means that is in transit, for example, a double point position. Now, once you have done this and loaded the RTU, how can you see the event list? Basically, you need to connect to the RTU via SICAM web. You can do it with any browser or directly from SICAM Device Manager. Once you connect to the IP address of the RTU, it will establish connection, and you need to type the password of the corresponding user, and you enter, and you will see something like this. And you will see a box called Alarms and Events. If you click there, you can select whether you want to see events or alarms. You can see here the events, all the events that have occurred, page by page. Of course, 4096 would not be shown, but you could just advance page by page. You can see the class name in case you have defined a signal for that, because some diagnostic signals exist in the RTO even if you have not defined a data point for that. So this is the name of the data point that you have generated, the 104 address, the information type. This is the 13-character process text that you define, the value of the event, okay, not okay, on, off, open, close. The quality, in case the event was that a signal became invalid, then you would also see it there. And most important, the time stamp with the year, month, day, and also the time with the millisecond accuracy. You can also export the list to a CSV file, the whole list. Basically, this is a very nice functionality that converts the RTO in a very powerful backup for your process information.